This is the 2024 Infiniti QX60 Autograph. Is it the best luxury midsize three-row SUV? Hey everybody, it's Tom from Vehicle Visionary. I hope you're having a great day. This QX60, I know it's the high trim level. I know a lot of you like to see the lower trim levels. Don't worry, it's coming. But this is what the dealership wanted me to show you today. Tell me what trim levels you want to see and I'll make that happen for you. I'm at Infiniti here in Shreveport, Louisiana. If you want to know more about this particular model, check out the link down in the description of the video. This model has a very large interior for a three-row SUV, very nice materials throughout, which should not come as a surprise for those of you who are fans of the panoramic sunroof. Guess what? It's here. And you're going to have those high-end materials. And something that's very impressive to me here is that this all-wheel drive model is capable of towing 6,000 pounds. So it's really a great multitasker in a multitude of ways. Let's take a look at what we have here. Obviously a lot of LED lighting, a very unique look, something that's not going to be lost in the parking lot if you're saying to yourself, you know, where's my vehicle? It's easy to find. And the lights themselves, with the design of the turn signal indicators, as cool as those look, that gives you a good reason to make sure you use your blinkers on the road. Also the daytime running lights and the headlights there, providing plenty of nice bright light. And the front end here with the grille, we have a combination of the gloss black and the chrome, not only around the grille, but also with that Infiniti logo right there in the center. Seems to be very well balanced. I know some people say that chrome is a bit antiquated in this day and age, but I just don't think that's a problem here. Everything really flows nicely with this particular model. And let's take a quick look at the remote. Simplistic, but yet very effective at the same time. The one thing people like to know about the remotes is, do they have remote start? Yes, you do, right here. And when it comes to the side view mirrors, it's really the perfect package. You're going to have a combination of the body color and the gloss black mirror caps there. You will also have cameras built in. There are cameras all over this model, but the reason why I say it's the perfect package, turn signal indicators built in. They're heated, they're power adjustable. You have your blind spot monitoring right here, and they're also power folding. That's always a good thing. And your combination here with the body color and the chrome for your door handles and around the windows as well. I really like how everything just kind of works its way down, and it narrows down just a little bit with everything here, not too much. The rear window isn't so small that it hinders visibility, but I just like how these lines flow here. It looks very nice. You'll also find a very similar look, just kind of in a different direction here on the door sills, down on the bottom of the door area right here with the chrome. Again, that Infiniti logo is going to be right there, just a little bit of an added touch, added value. And up top, while there's a good bit of space within the interior for cargo capacity, in addition to what you can tow, you also have the roof rails with the crossbars up there, so there's added space. What you're gonna haul if you need to, you can put something up there, your shark fin antenna, and obviously the rear window spoiler here that's going to help, or the rear roof spoiler. Not only looks nice, but it helps to channel air over this back window as you're driving down the road. That helps keep it clean. But when you need to clean it for whatever reason, here's your rear window wiper. That helps out. You can also spray windshield washer fluid across the window. When we finish things off here with the rear lights, a very clean look here on the rear, the QX60 logo, obviously the Infiniti logo and name. And as I said earlier, this model is all-wheel drive. How much power and torque will you find under the hood? Let's talk about that. Okay, here it is, the 3.5 liter V6. It makes a plentiful 295 horsepower and 270 pounds-feet of torque. It's mated to a 9-speed automatic transmission. And let's talk about those all-important MPGs. What do you find here? I'm going to show you right here on the sticker. We're looking at 20 city, 25 highway, 22 combined, and 4.5 gallons of gas per every 100 miles driven. And if you're curious to know, You do have capless fuel fill here, and when you fill the gas tank up, it has a potential of holding up to 19.5 gallons. And I told you the high end on towing capacity. You can tow 3,500 pounds as well, but the high end will take you up to 6,000 pounds. And there are a couple of different options here for opening the tailgate or the lift gate back here. It is power, it is hands-free. That helps a lot. And we're looking at 14.5 cubic feet up to 75 cubic feet of cargo capacity. You do have the nice carpet right here with the Infiniti logo, but underneath you'll find some storage space. And I like the fact that when you open this area, it stays open. You have to pull on it to get it to go back down, but you can see what's here. Actually quite a bit of space. You have the removable partitions right here if you want to section everything off. You'll also find, there we go, see how easy that is to put that back down. You have the hangers right here that you can use if so desired. There are some points to tie things down throughout the interior in this cargo area back here as well. You'll also find a 12-volt power outlet. And for those of you who are saying, Tom, I really want to see how things look as far as maximized cargo space goes. Well, obviously you can lower the third row of seating and the second row, or you can do one or the other to help out with that. And there is one more little trick I want to show you back here that is very useful. Depending on your situation, if you need to lower or raise this rear door, let's just say you're parking in an area where at maximum height, that's too high. So this is where you need to set it. All you're going to do is pull it down to where you want it or push it up to where you need it to be. And you hold this button down and you listen for the beeps. Takes a few seconds. Okay, so what's going to happen is now I'm going to close that door, and we'll just take advantage of the simplistic way of using the hands-free feature back in. What you're going to notice is that it opens up to where I preset that now. And obviously to set things back where they were, you just push it back up to wherever you want it. Repeat the process of holding that button down until you hear the beeps. It's very simple to deal with. That keeps you from saying, well, I don't see how to reset the height of my rear lift gate or tailgate, whichever you want to call that, in the infotainment screen. That's because it's not there. And speaking of convenience, let me show you something else here that's helpful. You see the piece of Velcro right here, and you have the strap right there. Well, if you were going to put these rear seats back into the upright position, the seat backs, well, that's kind of hard to do with it being right there. It's easier to Velcro it down right there, and then obviously all you have to do is pull it back into place. Just a little one of those simplistic things that helps ahead of time to avoid some frustration. And we'll take a look into the rear seating area. Starting here with the door panels, let's see how comfortable the armrest is. When I put my arm up there, that's pretty comfortable. A nice layout with the colors, with the materials. Everything's very nice, very durable, very high end. Here are your door bins. Definitely have a bottle holder here as well, but you could use that as just a regular door bin to store things. And something you don't see on a lot of vehicles is going to be the name of the manufacturer right here. Infiniti on the door sills, not only here in the rear, obviously in the front as well. Now I had the seats set up the way I do because of the fact that you can increase leg space, or your middle row seat passengers can increase leg space for the third row passengers. There's a release on the front right here that can be used to do that. We're going to put that seat all the way back just to see what it's like on both sides. And we push that button to get the seats up and out of the way, makes it very easy. And I'll go ahead and hop on inside here. A little bit of an act to do that. Now, this seat is way back. It's reclined. I don't have a lot of leg room, but what happens if we slide over to this side? Now, keep in mind, this seat is not as reclined back. It's further forward, and that gives me additional leg space. So that is helpful. You also have air conditioning vents here in the rear area for the third row passengers. Everybody basically has one, as you can see right there above the door. And we'll also find right here a USB option, cup holders, and obviously a window to look out of. Also a speaker back here as well. So that's going to help to enjoy whatever is being played on the radio. Here are the oh crap handles for when exercising 295 horsepower for middle row passengers. And there's also the center console right here with the cup holders built in, and quite a few snacks could fit in here. You know, the good thing about that for the rear seat passengers is they could easily reach up here when nobody's paying attention and grab some snacks. And one more thing before I hop out of the back seat area. If the middle row passengers hop out and don't let anyone out of the back seat, well, pretty easy to deal with. Push the button and the seat gets up and out of the way. And now we'll hop into the middle row. See what your passengers in this area are going to find. For those who are wanting to see the view with the panoramic sunroof from this vantage point, there is what you have. And obviously a lot more leg space here, which is not unusual for any three-row SUV, at least a midsize. More space here. And if you ever wondered what these areas are for right here, that's actually to help with leg space. If the seat was further back or the seat back was further back, well, there's that space to help with that. It may seem a little strange, a little unconventional, but that's actually pretty normal in a lot of vehicles. That's what it's for. And here is the command center for the seats back here, heated, as well as you can control all of the air conditioning and everything, all the functionality here, fan speed, temperature, all that good stuff is controlled right here. And of course, USB connectivity, and there is a power outlet right there as well. Rear seat pockets will also offer a little bit of storage capacity for these middle row passengers. And if you're curious about what kind of audio quality, well, it has the Bose audio system here. Try and pair my phone in just a little bit to give you a sampling as we hop into the front seat. Okay, if you're that person that's saying, all right, Tom, I like what you've shown me so far. I know we still need to look at the front seat, but what's the price? If you came in here to or Acura, this QX60 is going to cost $70,575. Let's see what else you get beyond what I've shown you. Large armrests here in the front, nice and comfortable, nice materials, nice white contrast stitching. I'm often not a fan of the white contrast stitching, but it seems to fit in this particular case. And a larger door bin, if you have a door bin snob in your life, well, they're going to need to call shotgun. And power seats for the driver and the passenger, obviously here, very comfortable, by the way. You'll also find, just as we saw with the rear door sills, right here, the Infiniti logo. And let's hop inside. A very nice look. It looks luxurious, as it should, especially on this Autograph trim level with the materials we have and the overall design right here. And obviously, you'll find the glove box right here. Nice and comfortable materials. You could almost make an ASMR video out of it. But I won't do that today. And I think nicely placed piano black finish as far as this location right here across the dash and where you'll find that. And something else that you might be surprised at is going to be right here. Seat memory on the passenger side. Not a lot of vehicles offer that, but in a higher end vehicle like this, it's definitely going to be here. And wireless charging for the cell phone. Also the cup holders right here. We're going to have some nice finish around that. And then the center console that really is a multitasker of sorts. We'll have the 12-volt power outlet right here. And if you're wondering about USB, it's a little bit easier to show you from right down here in this angle. You can see it right down there in front of the wireless charging pad. And another question that I know a lot of people have, the positioning of the center console. Is it good to use as an armrest? It's really going to depend on where your seat is as far as the height goes. You can adjust to make up for that if you need to, not a big deal. And as far as your upper console goes, if you want to see what's there, well, I'll show you real quick. You can figure out what's what up there. But for those of you who are curious to know about that, there it is. Okay, and obviously with the driver's side door, very similar to what we saw on the passenger side, but you'll also see a few additions with the controls for the side view mirrors and the windows and all that good stuff. And obviously, you're going to see the seat memory here as well. And something else I didn't talk about on the passenger seat, but you have it on the driver and passenger seat, this button right here. that activates the massage function. Isn't that nice? What a nice privilege to have that. And you have the heated steering wheel. You can open and close your power rear door back there. And right here is the control that adjusts the power adjustable tilt and telescopically adjustable steering wheel. Here is your start-stop button for the engine, so we'll just give you a good view of that, and then I will use that to start everything up and let you see what comes up on the driver's display. A very nice look. Very high-end, good quality graphics. It looks right. It looks appropriate. But it's not too much. It's not overly complicated. I like that. That's a good thing. So here's what we have, a few different features and different information you can work your way through. And all I'm doing is using the arrows right here to select OK. You can scroll through different information with the scroll wheel right here. In fact, I'll show you how that's working. And if I want to select something or go into something and make some changes, all I do is push on that scroll wheel, and to get back out, we just arrow out of that. Very simple to use. And over here on the left-hand side, the control for the headlights and the turn signals. That's a good thing. We also have, hopefully it shows up on the screen right here, the head-up display as far as being able to help out with the driver and what's going on as you're heading down the road. And if you happen to be saying to yourself, you know what, I really don't like having to look all the way back with this rear view mirror as it is. Here's how you improve the view, at least on this trim level. Just flip that lever down there and you can take advantage of the camera version of the rear view mirror. And I'll be honest with you, that can take a little bit of getting used to, but once you adjust to it, guess what? You will never want to go back to the conventional style of mirror because you can actually see better. You can make adjustments to that. So a pretty simplistic setup to use. I really like that. And the infotainment screen is also very easy to learn, very easy to use. Wireless connectivity for your cell phone. You've got all the settings here that you would likely expect. And if you're like Monk and you don't want fingerprints on your screen, I guess you could potentially leave the plastic on there, but you also have the controls right down here that will allow you to navigate your way through the screen depending on what you want to see and do. You can also hit the button right here. There's a button down there in that area that allows you to go to your camera views, and there are multiple views obviously, so that's very helpful. You can see what all you have here. Obviously you have a backup camera as well. And something that I find very interesting here, the shifter. It fits very well in the palm of your hand. It's not your typical shifter. It's not a push button shifter either. Well, you do use the button right there to go into park, but when it comes to going into drive, you're going to just pull back on it like that. Now to go into reverse, you have to push the button right here and you go up like that. You go into reverse. And your rear view camera does come on as well as the overhead view. That's very, very helpful in a multitude of ways. And don't forget, something I didn't talk about earlier, you have your drive mode selector right here. So let's see exactly what our driving modes are right here on the instrument cluster. Going to have Eco. We can go down to Snow, and then we'll work our way back up to Auto, Sport, and Personal. So you can actually personalize different aspects of the vehicle depending on how you want things to work. So that's very nice. You do have paddle shifters right here. I didn't mention that earlier in the video. Paddle shifters there. Obviously you're going to control your front and rear window wipers right here. The steering wheel controls very easy to deal with, as is everything else we have here. And we do have the dual zone climate control here in the front. Obviously single zone in the rear. Heated seats, something we need today. But here in a few months, I guarantee you when I come here to Infiniti, I'm going to be using the ventilated seats as well. And you can sync these two together by simply pushing that button right there. Both sides will be at the same temperature, pretty easy to deal with. And you can control a lot of different functionality, obviously here, whether it's rear or you can lock that, you can turn it on and off. There's a lot going on here. It's just so much, but so simple as well. And talk about simple. If you want to turn the auto stop start feature off, there's where you do that right there. There's your power parking brake and auto hold, or what's often called brake hold mode. The advantage to that if you're in stop-and-go traffic and you're having to stop for a really long time, different periods throughout that experience, when you come to a stop with that activated, the brakes don't deactivate until you push the gas pedal again. So that kind of makes it easier to deal with as well. And one more thing I wanted to share with you real quick here is the Bose Performance. That's right, it's called Performance. 17 speaker audio system. So let's let this play and we'll see if we can let you hear this. Okay, hopefully that was enough. You heard the sound of a car roaring through the scene right there. That's actually one of my channel trailers I used to use in just the background music, so we avoid any copyright issues. But you do have wireless connectivity for your phone and wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. Okay, let's get out on the road for a quick test drive here. And as you would expect, you have a very comfortable and spacious interior, and so the ride quality seems to follow suit with that. And a very easy vehicle to drive and get around with. So there's a lot of good opportunity here depending on where you live and what your situation is. Obviously with all-wheel drive, that's going to help if you live in those colder climates where you get a lot of snow throughout the winter, especially if you're living somewhere where you get snow 9 months out of the year. I've done that before and never want to do it again. But I'll tell you something, I really learned the importance of an all-wheel drive vehicle when we got quite a bit of snow here in Northwest Louisiana back in 2020. That was quite an experience. But overall, a very enjoyable vehicle to drive. You don't feel cramped as a driver, plenty of space, plenty of adjustability, and obviously, well, depending on what's going on with who's riding in the second and or third rows, well, you have a few different options as far as your space goes for cargo. Towing capacity is very, very impressive, I'd say, with this particular model. All-wheel drive is going to tow 6,000 pounds, and so that definitely gives you a lot of options, depending on what your situation is and what you might need to tow. Not all three-row SUVs are going to tow quite that much. Really pretty impressive, I'd say, where that's concerned. And when you need to get up and running and get down the road, there is enough horsepower here to take care of things. Definitely not a problem where that is concerned. And while it's not what I would call neck-snapping performance, it's enough to get the job done. You can have plenty of people here in the interior. You're still going to be able to get down the road without any problems. A really easy system to learn here too. As far as your infotainment screen, everything is easy to get to. Very, very easy to learn. There's quite a bit going on here as far as the technology goes, but that doesn't mean that it's a challenging vehicle for those who maybe haven't had this kind of technology before. Keep in mind, this is the first time I have ever driven or had any experience with the QX60 in all my years of making these videos. So I easily figured things out, and I even did something that the driver of this Buick in front of us didn't do. I figured out how to use the turn signals. Okay, tell me what you think. Is the 2024 Infiniti QX60 Autograph the best luxury midsize three-row SUV? If you can say that 5 times fast in a video, I'll give you a free Vehicle Visionary t-shirt. It is a mouthful. But tell me what you think. This model definitely has a lot going for it, that's for sure. Don't forget, if you want to know more about this particular model or anything else here at Infiniti, check out the link down in the description of the video. I do want to say a special thanks to my friends here at the dealership for loaning me this QX60 for the day. And a special thanks to each and every one of you for being kind enough to give me the opportunity to give you a vision for your next vehicle. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to hit the like button. That helps me out a lot. If you haven't subscribed to the Vehicle Visionary YouTube channel just yet, please consider doing so you don't miss any future videos. And if you would like to learn about additional vehicles you may wish to consider purchasing, check out the video that's on the screen right now, and I will see you there.